What's up guys, today I'm going to be talking about big builds versus something like this, a single sub build. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, so this is a single ZB515 and it is powered by this Slaps Audio Shock 5K. Also, you got to make sure you got a little bit extra battery power for something like this, or an upgraded alternator. Preferably you really need both, but this is actually running on a stock alternator right now, and just like I said, an extra battery, a 40 amp hour headway bank, which this bank alone should be plenty enough to run that 5K. So the reason why I'm showing you the difference between these builds is because this is something that would be a little more practical in like a daily. This vehicle is stock head unit. It's a 2020 Escape. It's pretty new. It's, you know, something we don't want to tear up and tear panels apart and build a wall in here or nothing, because this is less than 80,000 miles on this vehicle. So, you know, it's not something you're going to want to build a wall in and tear apart. Versus something like this. This is a vehicle that I only paid $500 for this vehicle, and I already had the wall built in it. This also has two alternators instead of just the battery in the back. This is the only thing running this vehicle and the three 5Ks. I had the same amp in here, but I have three of them. Three Slaps Shock 5Ks, and this is a 96 amp hour spin lithium bank. Now this is a different brand of lithium than the headway bank. This bank you can charge at 15.5 to 16 volts. These headways you can only charge them at 14.8 max. So this is another reason why you would want to put something like this versus a big lithium in your car. Like if you're wanting to run your factory vehicle, you know, and you don't want to put a whole lot. You know, these vehicles here, they only run about 14.6, 14.8 volts. Anyways, it actually has a stock AGM underneath the hood. So this is the factory battery that's in the daily 2020 Escape. This is the factory alternator. These charge at about the same as the headways. So this is the reason why I chose to do headway in this car, because like I said, the reason why I'm doing this video is to explain the difference for what you need in your build. Like if you want to run lithium and you don't want to charge higher than 14.5, 14.6 than factory, some vehicles they can't handle it. So we don't want to put anything like that in this car, because I already know it's going to start having electrical issues. It's got a turbo on it, everything's electrical in this car. So you don't really want to put a whole lot on something that's like a newer system like this. It's supposed to have a smart alternator charge system that only keeps it about 12.5 volts unless it's under a lot of strain. And then the alternator has this sensor on it here, and then it plugs into the power wire and it sends a signal to get the alternator a little bit more charge. This is a really simple system. This is what you would kind of do if you're running, you know, just a simple setup. Like I said, just positive, do your big three, you know, your ground, everything off your alternator and your ground, your motor ground, and then your power wire running to the back. And then it goes in to the positive side here, and then this fuse here, this fuse block is just for the 4-channel amp, so it just comes straight off of here into a fuse block mounted right here. But this sub here is a Sundown ZB515. Now this is not just a normal, you know, everyday throw a little sub in the back. So this sub here, I actually reconed it. I actually built this from the ground up. I rebuilt everything, and it is rated for 2500 RMS. It's a ZB515 with upgraded 8-layer voice coils, and I got everything glued down and back playing in 3 days. As you can see, the dust cap there. My first time ever doing a recon. Looks pretty decent, but this thing has plenty of X-Max excursion. This box is tuned to 27 Hertz. It gets really low and windy. Now that's what we wanted to do with this build. We just wanted to make something really low and windy and that would flex really good, have a lot of output for a single sub build. And I haven't got it on the meter yet, but I'm pretty sure this thing is doing almost a 150 for a single sub build stock cabin, and that's really good. You're not going to get a lot of output from a normal system. Like I said, this is a small system, but it's not. I mean, it's not your everyday beginner system. So, but it's really basically simple the way it's set up. So this is a stock head unit, and then it has just a line out converter that is ran off the factory door speakers, and then the inputs are down here. Now I have the line out converter down here, and then I have RCAs running back up underneath the carpet and everything into the front to that CT Sound 7-band EQ right there. So it comes from the back, from the line out converter, into the input. And then from there, we have a subwoofer out to the amp for the subs. And then we also have 4 channels out, left and right, front and rear, going back to the 4-channel amp. So that's it. That's all we had to do. We just had to put, like I said, the line out converter in there, and then that's our input signal. And then I have some Tampino rear door speakers, and it has some DS18 that came out on the truck. These are temporary mocked up for now, and then later I'm gonna redo these and fiberglass them in. But we ran all the door speakers to the 4-channel, and then this is, like I said, it's upgraded D2 8-layer voice coil wired to 1 ohm on this Slaps 5K. And for a daily system, this is all you need. I mean, this thing handles all the power, and it gets down. But anyways, so when do you need something like this? Well, so we have 3 5Ks, so you're gonna have a lot more amperage drawed. Each one of these require about 450 amps draw. I have a 370 Singer here and a 320 Mechman. So with the 96 amp hour bank in the back and both of those, it comes out to be about I think it comes out to be around 1200 amps that I can use. So I think max that I would draw between the vehicle running and everything is around, I want to say 9 something. So I have a little bit of extra, a little bit of extra, so I have great voltage. Now the reason why you would want something like this, like I said, is if you're wanting to charge a little bit higher. Now these amps, they can go up to 16 volts. So I charge a little higher. I charge 5 to 16 volts. The reason why is because I have these big village fans. I have one on each side for the sub amps, and then of course I have one over here for my mids and highs. Now this one is a little more complicated. Like I said, there's 3 amps for the subs, and I have 2 amps for the mids and highs. And I'm going to show you how it's ran. It's not really difficult. It's basically the same principle. I don't have any RCA distribution blocks or anything like that, and I'm running 2 sets. I'm running 2 sets of 4-channel RCAs, and I'm running this wire here is the RCAs that go out. This is just 2 to 1 that goes out to my sub amps. I'll explain that here in a second too. So basically, the power, ground, everything for the radio is set off the factory harness so that it comes on with the key. And then my amps, everything, the remote, everything is wired into it as well. So my amps, everything comes on with the key. So how I have my inputs, basically I said it's the same way as that. I have two splitters. I have splitters running off of all of my outputs on the back of the radio. And then they're all ran these are all ran down underneath the seat behind the wall. There's a hole there. But like I said, everything's ran off the deck. And then I just have splitters going off 2 to 4 and then 2 to 4 here. And then this right here is my input for my sub amps. I just have a 2 to 1 coming out the back of the deck. It's a splitter, RCA Y splitter, and then it comes in over here, around over the top of the power wire for the mids and highs amps. That way it doesn't interfere and have ground noise. And then it just comes in the top there. So, and these are just daisy chained together. I have actually outputs on these amps, and you can connect them together just by simply using one in and then going another one straight out. And then as you can see there, input, there's nothing on the output. But if you wanted to add more amps, you could just daisy chain it together. This is basically nothing but a subwoofer box. The whole vehicle is the box. And like I said, this is a $500 vehicle, so it doesn't really hurt whenever you just throw a bunch of wood and screws in here and tear up the vehicle, because it's only a $500 vehicle, and if it tears up, I can pull everything out of here, all my equipment, and build another wall in another vehicle and have just about the same results. So, but anyways, if you guys have any questions, any comments, put them down below. Hit the like, subscribe, share this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.